Today, I'm going to talk about some of the big Divi updates that we have been working on. This is going to be a long video with a lot of talking, so if you'd rather read about these updates instead of hearing about them, then visit the blog post linked above. It's going to have all of the same information. About a year ago, we began transitioning our development team over to a multi-year project that is Divi 5.0. And we're now at the point where the majority of our team is focused on this very big and important endeavor that will have a major influence on the future of Divi. Today, I want to share with you some details about that future, what we're working on, and what you can expect from Divi moving forward. You might have noticed that Divi's feature development pace has slowed down over the past year, and that's because as each new feature for the current version of Divi was finished, the team members involved were transitioned over to the Divi 5.0 team, which is a project with a much longer time horizon. Divi 5.0 is what we're calling the Foundation Update. It's a complete rewrite of Divi's backend and core technologies, reimagined for the future and built using all of the knowledge and experience that our team has garnered while building Divi over the past 9 years. That's right, Divi is now inching towards its 10th birthday, and it has gone through some considerable evolutions. We have been sprinting forward for so long, and now it's time to take a step back and build a new foundation that we can propel ourselves forward from once again into the next decade. Divi 5.0 is focused on performance, stability, scalability, and extendability. It's going to be way faster. It's going to be future-proof and built for the direction that WordPress is heading. It's going to ship with an API that gives developers incredible freedom. And of course, it's going to be backwards compatible and non-disruptive to Divi users. It's going to be a normal update in the WordPress dashboard. In fact, when you update to Divi 5.0, you won't notice much of a change at all from a UI perspective. We aren't adding a bunch of new features in Divi 5.0, that's not the goal. At first glance, the Divi builder is going to look and function the same way it does now, with maybe a few cool new things snuck in here and there, but everything behind the scenes is going to be much improved, and those improvements will manifest themselves in several major ways. Speed, performance, and scalability are huge focuses for Divi 5.0. Both the snappiness of the visual builder, the speed of front-end page loads, and the ability for Divi to handle very large and complex designs. Recreating the visual builder gives us the opportunity to make fundamental changes to how interactions work and the way the application renders updates as you design your website, speeding things up from every angle. We are committed to making the visual builder very fast and for it to never get bogged down no matter how much you throw at it. The speed of your website will also improve with Divi 5.0 because we're recreating Divi's backend framework, cleaning up years of technical debt, and completely changing Divi's storage format as well as its rendering mechanism so that settings can be processed faster and with much less complexity. One of the biggest changes that will come with Divi 5.0 is the migration away from shortcodes and towards a more modern storage format. Migrating away from shortcodes has several benefits. It will allow for faster and more streamlined processing, less bugs born from the complexity involved in the way shortcodes and shortcode attributes are nested in the post content, and an improved system for enabling nested content of our own, such as rows within rows. Most importantly, this change will bring Divi into alignment with the future of WordPress, which is moving in a new direction. Probably the most exciting part of Divi 5.0 is a paradigm shift in the way we are approaching its development, and the way that change will open up so many new possibilities for third-party developers. The new Divi builder will be completely customizable, and developers will be able to use the Divi API to create anything they want. Not just new and amazing modules, but new types of settings and completely new features of their own. To explain the difference between the current Divi API and the Divi 5.0 API, let me make a simple analogy. Let's imagine that the visual builder is a house. We built that house and it was set in stone. Later on down the road, we wanted to give people the option to build their own modules, or in the case of this analogy, the ability to customize their house. But Since the house was already set in stone, the ways that we could allow for customization were limited, and we were only able to open up small specific ways to customize the house. We hammered a nail into the wall and said, here's a place where you can customize. You can hang a picture from that nail. Just make sure the picture is the right size and that there's a wire that is compatible with the nail from which to hang it from. In the new version of the Divi Builder, we aren't just going to give you a nail on the wall. We're going to give you the blueprints, the lumber, the hammer, and the nails. In the current version of the Divi Builder, you can hang your own pictures on the wall, but in the new version of the Divi Builder, you'll be able to remodel the ground floor or even add a second story. In a way, we are taking all of the third-party developers in the community and elevating them to first-party developers, because the tools you will have to customize the builder will be the same exact tools that our team uses to build the builder in the first place. This means that our own interests as the creators of Divi and the interests of the development community will be one and the same. The future of Divi is a foundation for a broader ecosystem, and we want that ecosystem to thrive just like WordPress has. Developers familiar with creating blocks for WordPress will find a lot of similarities in the Divi module API, allowing WordPress blocks to be more easily adapted to Divi and for WordPress developers to more quickly build Divi modules. We're building this new version of Divi to work in harmony with WordPress and the community. If you are a developer, you're going to love these changes. If you're not a developer, you're going to love all of the amazing modules and tools that developers from the community will be able to create for you. This new API won't just be useful for developers in the community, it's going to be useful for our own team because Divi itself will be built using the API that we create. Furthermore, we are building this new version of Divi with extendability as a core value. We're recreating everything we created in the past, but we're doing so while thinking much more deeply about how each feature might change and expand in unforeseen ways, allowing for less friction in future development. Divi 5.0 is an investment into our own future. We are building ourselves the tools we need to build great software. While it will take some time to finish, once it's done, it will allow us to sprint forward once again, creating wonderful new features much faster than before and with many fewer bugs along the way. We are setting ourselves up so that we can outpace the competition and fulfill more of your requests. While we work on Divi 5.0, we won't be releasing a bunch of new Divi features because those features would just need to be recreated all over again by the Divi 5.0 team. That's why our feature development pace has slowed down recently. But we knew that was the plan, and so we planned ahead. We expanded our dev team, hired a handful of talented new developers, and created 2 new teams within the company that will be focused on creating Divi integrated tools within the Divi ecosystem and new resources on our website that will provide even more value to our customers. The first example of this was the release of Divi Cloud, and the second example was the release of Divi Teams, and I think you will be surprised and delighted with the new tools we continue to launch this year and next year, even while Divi 5.0 is in development. We're going to keep releasing new stuff that makes Divi better, but we're going to focus on things around the builder and things that integrate with the builder rather than on the builder itself. Then, once Divi 5.0 is released, it's full steam ahead on all fronts. You might be asking yourself, when is Divi 5.0 going to be released? That's a question that is hard to answer at this stage of development, but our goal is to release a beta version next year, and then the official release will completely depend on user feedback and testing. This is a very big update, and we won't be rushing into it. You can expect Divi 5.0 to take a while to finish, but for the wait to be worth it. In the meantime, you can trust that we are planning for the future and that we have your best interests at heart. So don't worry, there's a reason that we've been quiet lately. We've had our heads down working harder than ever on a new foundation for Divi and on new projects built by new teams that will stretch us in exciting new directions. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll be reading every single comment and responding, and I look forward to chatting with you.